Now, after the cars were gone, Kofi Boat sent the money that he got from the sales of the two beautiful cars, a Bentley and a Benz, and sent to Nam1. He paid his lawyers and they did a good job. He returned to Ghana very, very much a free man, at least. A few days later, Nam1 was driving on the streets and he saw his Bentley. And he turned to look who was driving this Bentley, Kofi Boat. And when he looked at the number plates, Kofi Boat. So that meant Kofi Boat sold the cars to himself at the price that he dictated because his friend was hot. He decided to manipulate the whole situation, sold the two cars to himself. He was not ready to give out his money to his very good friend Nam1. Who is supposed to be the biggest frenemy of Nam1? Do you know? It's a guy called Kofi Boat. That's this guy. He's a businessman, so rich. In fact, a lot of people know how opulent this guy here called Kofi Boat. Now listen to this and come here. Watch this. Kofi Boat and Nam1 have been very close friends, business partners, and beyond that, they met time after time. When Nam1 was arrested in Dubai, his businesses in Ghana were folding up, and he contacted Kofi Boat and asked him to do well to support the businesses a little bit. And one of those businesses was Xylophone, a radio station that was based right here in Accra that I played on. In fact, electricity bills became a very big problem to pay at Xylophone. As for salaries for over 14 months, in fact going to 16, 18 months, nobody was paid whilst Nam1 was arrested and locked up in the gallows of Dubai. Kofi Boat was asked to come to the rescue of Xylophone, at least to pay some of the bills like electricity, but it never happened. That was the first time I heard the name Kofi Boat, and I was told how much he had. My brother, my sister, now the interesting thing I need you to see is this. Whilst Nam1 was locked up in Dubai, he needed money to be able to pay lawyers to fight his case. He called on his very good friend Kofi Boat and told him, listen, Kofi, I am hot. I'm in trouble. You see some of the things that I have. I need you to send them out and get a loan for me so that when I return, I will pay and get these things back. And he gave out two items, one Bentley and one Benz. State of the art at the time, gave this out to Kofi Boat and said, look for a loan for me. When you get me the loan, I would use that. Let the person keep this as collateral. When I return, I will pay and take back this. But Kofi Boat, probably knowing who his friend Nam1 was and what Nam1 could do and could not do, and the gravity of the problem he found himself in, he told Nam1 that he couldn't find any money lender who was ready to take the Bentley and the Benz and give a loan. But he had found somebody who was ready to buy the cars at auction prices. Nam1 was hot. So he told Kofi Boat, you know what? Please give them out. The prices were so low, but Nam1 was so hot. He decided that, listen, these are just property. Let them go. Life is more important. And he gave that out to Kofi Boat. Come here, my youth. Watch this. Hey. Now, after the cars were gone, Kofi Boat sent the money that he got from the sales of the 2 beautiful cars, a Bentley and a Benz, and sent to Nam1. He paid his lawyers and they did a good job. He returned to Ghana very, very much a free man, at least. A few days later, Nam1 was driving on the streets and he saw his Bentley. And he turned to look who was driving this Bentley, Kofi Boat. And when he looked at the number plate, Kofi Boat. So that meant Kofi Boat sold the cars to himself at the price that he dictated because his friend was hot. He decided to manipulate the whole situation, sold the 2 cars to himself. He was not ready to give out his money to his very good friend Nam1. My brother, my sister, when Nam1 returned to the country and saw this, he decided to sever all ties with his friend, Kofi Boat. They are no longer friends. Maybe they became friends again only 2 days back. My brother, my sister, xylophone collapsed. He was sold out. Nam1's business is crushed to the ground like a house of cards. Up till now, he's yet to recover. And interestingly, it just came out. The source of the riches of Kofi Boat. Where is Kofi Boat getting his money from? He belongs to a certain criminal entity known as the Enterprise. Run the story.